Hello. So I did a little rampage video last night. Well, it wasn't really a rampage. It was just me going off at the stuff that I didn't like that's going on. I.e., channels on TV focusing on benefits, people scrutinising people on benefits, people demonising the corruption in government. I get asked quite a bit of people why I do care so much and why I put videos up. Because in my day-to-day real life, what I do to make a living, I'm self-employed, I'm successful, I'm comfortable. So really, people that have seen my videos that do know me ask me why I bother to put video, why do I care, because it doesn't really affect me. The thing is, about, I'm 34 now, about 14, 16 years ago, I was on a self-destruct course. I was just aiming to self-employed, I was aiming to end my life. I was on a really, really dark path for some reason. For some reason, something in there didn't work, and I was heavily depressed, and all I wanted to do was just end it in any means possible. What made it worse for me was I used to work out a hell of a lot, so at the time I was quite big and I was quite heavily influenced by, should we say, chemical enhancements as well. But I got to a point where it pissed everyone off and alienated every single family member that I was actually in the slums. I was on my arse for a couple of months, well, a bit longer than that. And I know what it's like when you're desperate. I've been there. I've felt what it's like to be desperate. I've felt where the only option you have got is like a lifeline, like the benefit system used to be. And if it wasn't for them at the time, say, I think it was about 14 years ago, maybe 19, 20, 14 years ago, yeah. If it hadn't been for the benefit system at the time then, where they helped me out and give me a chance to get back on my feet, I wouldn't be here now. So I've got a huge, like a little endearment towards a benefit system. Even back then, there was stigma towards being on benefits, and it was shit. I mean, I was skint. I couldn't do anything that I wanted to do, but I was alive and I had a roof over my head. And I barely yet, but I yet enough to keep myself going. So like when you see these programs on TV that glamorise like the Benefit Street thing that was heavily edited by, I'm going to say, and I've always said this from day one, it's the Tory government. To me, all these programs that come on now, these are handpicked people that claim the maximum amount of benefits you can get. I mean, these are people that have probably worked the system a little bit too well. If you look at the run-of-the-mill person on benefits, they haven't got everything that you've seen on Benefit Street. When I was on benefits, I mean, I was only on benefits for about, I think it was 5, 6 months at the time, when I was trying to get my head straight and get myself back on my feet. I had fuck all, but I had enough to live. And I've always been very grateful, I've always been very defensive towards people on benefits. Because you see, it's only been in the past couple of years where people try to demonise people on benefits really badly in the public eye. And to me, I've took offence to that because not every person on benefit is a scrounger, a work shy con artist. But with the current government and the current PR spin, and you can't help but feel that people have been brainwashed by everything that's been on TV. You can see why they would be brainwashed. Say if you do a normal job 9 to 5 and you work loads of hours each week and you're struggling to survive and keep your head above water, then you see a program on TV where there's people that don't work a fucking day and they've got big screen TVs and all this and they're laughing and joking in the street. You're bound to think, well, why the fucking hell am I getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to work when these twats here are getting everything for fuck all? You've got to bear in mind these people were handpicked. These are the people that managed to get the top benefit cap and managed to get and screw the system over. Not every single person on benefits like that. This was where the government did a master stroke. This was a PR storm which Hitler would have been proud of. All that was, they must have spent time researching it to spearhead this campaign of their benefits cap. If it hadn't been for problems like Benefit Street and Channel 5's complete fucking channel schedule of fucking benefits programs, as I said last night, the government would not have been able to get away with this benefit sanctions they put in, these change to benefit reform, these PIP scheme and everything. You got to remember, during this transition, there's been at least, this is just at least the ones that documented 10,000 unlawful deaths. Now, if that had been done without these sort of programs being on and your average Joe public getting in line and believing all the fucking shit and propaganda, you would never have got away with those 10,000 deaths. You would have had fucking uproar, which they should have been. By all rights, it should be uproar. People shouldn't have to starve to death. People shouldn't die of heart attacks because they have the benefits cut because you don't meet a certain fucking criteria that's been made up by a couple of people in a fucking office that have no idea what it's like to be ill or to be on benefits. You've got college graduates that are doing all these fucking, I can't remember the name of the group now that does all these benefit sanctions, make the things, but they're not anywhere near qualified to make decisions. But these are the changes that government implemented, which they wouldn't have got away with without programs like Benefit Street, My Big Fat Family on Benefits. Basically, Ian Duncan Smith demonised every fucker on benefits, and that's why I take offence to it. That's why I feel I need to make a video. That's why I feel I need to scream my nuts off. I think it is fucking wrong. I think it's horrible. I think it is a complete and utter twat's trick to demonise people that are having a rough time, to demonise weaker people, to demonise ill people, just so you can get your precious cuts across. I honestly, I spent years trying to reform my character, move away from being violent to just being a dad, just a hard-working person, just a normal person. But shit like this gets my fucking back right up when you see people that are being demonised for no reason. Basically, it's Tories. I mean, look at it now in the paper, the Tories now. You've got all these big VIP paedophile rings. You've got all these so-called benefit backhands and tax rebates. George Osborne's lost more tax and put more debt in the country than Labour did in the past fucking God knows how many years. And he's done that on his own. But yet he feels a need that to scream about everything he's done right. Well, obviously you've not, because you've put the country in more debt than it's ever been. Just on your own, because you're a complete dick who sat there sucking David Cameron off while his banker mates are rogering you from behind. This is the type of people you're dealing with, and when they're picking on people on benefits and the benefit system, and they're demonising people and trying to change it up and do this and that, it really does get my shit up because it's wrong. It's wrong to demonise people that are fucking having a hard time. It's wrong to demonise people that are on the sick because they're actually ill. It's a complete twat's trick. You're basically picking on a weaker race just to make your fucking quota, to cut this, to do this, so you can have this and that. Look, the biggest scrounges in this country have always been the same. It's always politicians. Why should we pay their expenses? Did we elect them? I personally never elected them, so why should I pay my tax, which I pay a shitload because I'm self-employed? Why should I pay that so Ian Smith can have a food allowance? Well, my opinion is he's worse than a paedophile, so he should be on the street eating dog shit. I don't want to pay for his breakfast. I don't want to pay for his fucking housing expenses, this and that. To me, he should be walking the street butt ass naked, being whipped by a bunch of howling fucking, I don't know, Irish midgets since it's St. Patrick's Day. That's my feeling on it. I do not think they should have expenses. I think the Tories are worse. I mean, I was never a fan of Labour, but the Tories are a hell of a lot worse than Labour. The Tories have always been a bunch of public school boys who have this feeling of self-entitlement, that they're bigger than everyone else, they have the right to this and that. They have the right to fuck all. If you ever want to look at the biggest criminals in the world, don't look in the jails, because you will find big criminals in jails, but the biggest ones you'll find are the ones in government. If you was ever to find out the details from behind the door, and they were made public, they'd all be arrested. There is so many dodgy shit that goes on. But yet, again, they always pick a weaker group of society to pick on. So it kind of takes the focus away from everything else. I mean, you can move on now to the latest lot, Nigel Farage. Yeah, I agree with some of his policies. He has got a point on some of them, but he's when he first come into the public eye, he was blatantly aiming at Eastern Europeans. If you go back 6, 7 months ago, it's changed a bit now. He's not quite as hard on it. But when he was first coming to public eye 6, 7 months ago, it was English jobs for English people. His whole policies was to make sure every Englishman was in a job, Eastern Europeans, borders would be closed, Europeans be sent home, see you later, bye bye. Now he's kind of tailed back off a little bit. He's not quite as right wing and all this, and it's, well, there's different rules and we'll put these rules in place. Basically, he come out hard, he was going hard, but now he's gone like to a Tory, he's gone soft. Bear in mind, Nigel Farage has always been a big Thatcher fan, so he's always going to be a Tory boy in different clothing. He's backed. He's an old. He used to be a banker. He's backed by banking money. He's backed by the public schoolboy sector type of thing. He's always going to be a Tory. I don't care how working class he tries to come across. I don't care how many times I hammer the point for English jobs for English people. He's basically a Tory in fucking sheep's clothing. He always will be, and you can see it now because he's pulling back on this fucking his first policy that he was hammering home about English jobs for English people and all the bars will be shut. He's not saying that now. He's saying there'll be sanctions in place. There'll be little rules in place. So basically, he's gone from being hardcore, and now he's winding it back now, so it can be a bit more acceptable and a bit more palatable for the more rich people in London, which is wrong. And is, as it's come to light, his biggest other policy is privatising the NHS to selling it off, which is a big fucking no-no. So good luck for anyone who votes for him. The only real option I can see is the Green Party, but they're not really that. Well, I wouldn't say well, no, I just don't think they're that popular. I mean, you've got Labour, but you've got Ed Miliband again. He's the trade union's puppet. When the trade union move, they fucking hand, he opens his mouth. So they're corrupt as well. Everyone's corrupt. But you're gonna have to vote for someone I don't know who. But I just thought I'd make a little vid to explain why I do get so heated and wound up about fucking people on benefits being screwed over and shit. I've been where people are now on benefits. I've tasted desperation and it's not fucking nice. If you haven't got that person, that system there to help you when you do it, the shit, what's the fucking point? It's going to be no more, is there? So, that's it. Hope everyone has a good night, couple of days. I'll speak to you soon.